I've just got to wait for it to say go live, and then that's what we do. Come on. Here we go. Welcome to Phil G Biz. Here, I'm Phil G, and of course tonight we've got the fantastic Saleem Syed and Marcus Starr on the show. Okay, so it's great to be with you guys again this week, and we were of course sponsored by the BritishMobilityProject.com, and we've got Saleem Syed, who is the director of the British Mobility Project, but he is also the executive director for the Psychic Project, which is what this is all about tonight, and is also the sponsor of tonight's show, featuring psychic medium Marcus Starr. Hi guys, how are we both doing today?
Excellent. Hi, thanks Phil for having us on your show again.
It's great. I know. I love it. I'm fascinated to talk to Marcus, of course. I always love chatting to yourself, Saleem. So it's just a great little. Sorry. Okay. It's just a great little way to keep us all together, sort of thing. Okay. I do apologise. I just had somebody come into the room. I just needed to check on something. But you guys are there, okay, and you can hear me, okay? Yeah.
Indeed. Thank you, Phil.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, lovely stuff. Okay, so tonight, I did say last week that we'd read a couple of messages from last week from the show, from a couple of ladies who'd like a validation. Just to let you know, at exactly 8:15, we will be going live with Mrs. Sam Hughes, who unfortunately lost her child due to suicide. And tonight's show is going to be quite serious and quite an emotional show. So please don't comment anything silly. Please be respectful of other people on the show and other guests on the show as well. We will be getting a couple of validations as well. And as I say, we've got a text message here that I will read out now. And if Marcus, if you're okay,
of course, yes,
I'm going to ask you to go ahead and read it. Can I just ask though, Marcus? It always fascinates me when you're a child and you can see things like spirits and the ghosts and stuff like that. But how is it? Do you think it's any different to anybody else who has a childhood who is not psychically in tune or is not a medium?
Yeah, I've always sort of felt things and sensed things and see things, and it's quite interesting you've asked that question because, over the years, you do really just get sort of assigned to the fact that you are a little bit different than others, and even as a child, I sense things, so you do really get assigned to working for the lovely, gracious spirit world, and it's just a wonderful feeling to have because. Obviously, the ultimate goal to all this is to help and guide, and I'm just a vessel really for the spirit world. So it's lovely. It's just second nature for myself. Yeah.
Have you ever had anything sort of really even strange for you happen? That you weren't expecting. Maybe a fork flies through the air or something really unexpected. And does it scare you? Does that part of it still scare you even after all this time?
100%, Phil. And one of the things, when I look back on my own life and look at some of the incidents that's happened, it's they've made things happen in the home, they've made things happen in certain situations because of the fact that I shouldn't have went down this road, or this road shouldn't have been, I shouldn't have went this road, or I should have went on this path, or this path, or this path. So certain things have tried to restrict me in going down certain avenues. And when the spirit world are very, very against something, they'll just sort of stop it in some way. So it's a great responsibility doing this work, because obviously you're working with lovely people of the public, and they'll often, come in between whatever I'm doing. So the answer to your question, Phil, over the years, there's been certain situations that have been quite strange, particularly in the homes that I've had in the previous times, and it's almost like saying we're here. We don't agree with this. We feel this is. We feel this should go in this way. So it's interesting again that things happen when you get involved with this work. And as we do the haunting side of things, and we do certain evenings of mediumships, which obviously is coming up, people will be able to sort of witness that sort of energy and feel that presence, in different things that we do. So yeah.
Amazing. I mean, Saleem, do you have a specific question for Marcus at all, very quick, out of interest? I mean, is there something you've always wanted to know that now all of a sudden you can get him because he's live on air and stuff like that? I think he's gone. Hello. He's gone. Okay, I mean, I always find it fascinating. I always find it fascinating talking to you, Marcus, because you've got such a depth of knowledge about everything to do with this. I mean, you are going to be doing very shortly...
Hi, Phil, are you there?
Yes, hello. Hello, are you there?
Hi, Phil, can you hear me?
I can now, yes, I can now. Are you okay, Saleem?
Yeah, I've got you back.
I do apologise, I don't know what happened there. I lost you for a second, I think.
No problem.
I was just saying, are there any questions you've always wanted to ask Marcus that you've never gotten around to yet?
Yeah, there is a couple of questions well, just one in particular, actually. I mean, I've always wondered if Marcus has, ever had an experience or ever had kind of any type of, incident, for example, that springs to mind, perhaps when he's gone to bed, or maybe he's like, at night when it gets dark and you switch out the lights. Is there anything that's actually happened that's been quite profound, in your world, Marcus, that you can remember that stands out?
Well, there's been certainly activity in the homes that I've had before, and when you go into a new home or you move into a new property, there's always the energy lingering from particularly older properties. I've been in older properties in the past, and that energy is still lingering, whether there's been an incident or whether there's been, just generally loved ones that have passed away in a very loving, very peacefully way. That energy is still in that home. So on times gone by when I've moved into certain places and done certain things, there's been all the, on one home where I moved into at some point, I had what you call a stigmata, where I woke up one morning and something was specifically on my sort of neck area, and the next day it wasn't there. So these are experiences over the years that I've had in this sort of world that we're in. Anything can happen at any time.
Wow, that's significant. I've never heard anything quite like it, to be honest.
I mean, that is quite amazing. So you had a mark on your body that you couldn't explain any other way?
That's right. It was almost like a tattoo. I woke up, the tattoo was there. The next day, the tattoo was gone. And I thought, what is that? And I realised now, it was just to do with the spirits that are in that property, trying to, create the energy that it's my house, it's not yours. We live here, not you. And of course, over time, I had to clear that energy out. As a spiritualist, what I'm consistently doing is protecting myself and making sure no evil spirits can come through, making sure that no negative energy comes through. Because obviously when you're working with the light, when you're working with the lovely spirit ones, and you're trying to bring them through, like this evening I want to try and bring one or two lovely spirits through, it's very important that you go in there with no fear. It is got to come from a love angle. It's all about giving that love out and receiving that love, and then you can emerge, you can connect with each other as you go forward in that sitting or that psychic reading. So very important the energy, not just from yourself is right, but also in the property that you're in. So it's interesting questions. I'm pleased that you're asking me these questions, because if there's anybody out there that's just moved into a property, if there's anyone out there that's listening to this that maybe has, and I'm feeling this, I don't know why I'm feeling this, that has, possibly negative energy in the house, or has something in the house that they don't quite feel right about with the energy, because we've all got an instinct as well. Obviously, come through to the show and we can. We can look into that for you. Try and clear that negative energy, bring that positive energy in. Yeah.
It would be great to hear all about it. Also, Marcus, something that I've sort of pondered about in recent weeks is: have you ever met another psychic medium who denies their power or denies their gift, and do they do it deliberately so?
Yes, well, there's a lot of fear with all what we do. Over the years, I've come to the conclusion now, I've done this over a span of over 20 years, that, fear, what fear does, it takes you on the negative side. It takes you on the side of negativity, takes you into a non-loving side. So when you've got fear, you can't connect with the spirit world. You've got to be happy in yourself to be able to connect with the spirit world, to be able to say, hey, I don't mind what anybody says about me. I don't care what, whatever happens, it happens. I'm here just a vessel for the spirit world to come through despite anything, just to help assist these lovely people in the physical world and try and bring the two worlds together. And once you take that fear out and you become yourself, the energy becomes a lot lighter. The energy becomes really natural. You're really sort of bringing that love to the spirit world, and then things happen for you. Things work. Sometimes, it's very important to just think of others, and then things happen off the back of that. And that's what we're doing with this show. It's a lovely show. It really is, because it really is reaching out to people, whether it's through texts or through the lovely people that come through, and it's really lovely.
Of course, we will give you a reading. Of course, if you call into the show 07946 624 307. You can also text us and leave messages on our page, of course, as well. And it's great because we have had some messages already in, and I will be reading those out in just a few moments' time. Ladies and gents, we will be going to the phones in just a short while. Marcus, can you let us know who we're going to speak to in a moment's time, and how this all came about, if that's okay?
Of course, Phil. Yes. This is to do with Sam. Sam is a client of mine. Lovely lady she is, and she come through via the Mobility Association, and she come through, and she had a sitting with me, a mediumship sitting, and as she come through, she instantly we connected with her son that's passed away, and from that we've had a great communication with regards to the sittings that we do, linking in with the spirit world, linking in with the son, and trying to get her through a very, very difficult time. And obviously my professional job here as a psychic medium is to give her as much validation evidence as we can, which we've done that, and fingers crossed, hopefully she'll give us some information on what's been said. But more than anything, this is about her. This is about bringing that loved one through, and really giving that validation that the spirit world is still with us. There's no such thing as death, just change. And often when a spirit does go over, often what you do find is they're actually more with us in the physical world than they ever would have been in the physical world when they'd been alive. So,
Marcus, can I stop you there, please? We got Sam coming in just now. Okay, so Good evening, Sam. It's lovely to have you with us. This is, of course, Phil G. Biz for the mobilityproject.com, and we're all here tonight. I'm just going to connect you, if that's okay, Sam, to Marcus and Sai as well, Saleem. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gents. So tonight we've got this lovely lady, Sam, who's unfortunately lost her child, her son, to a very tragic event. It was a suicide. That's correct, isn't it, Sam?
Yes, that's correct. My son did take his own life.
I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm really so sorry for your loss. But it's great for you, and I feel very honoured to have you on our show tonight and on here and for the live, and just to make people aware. You know, obviously everybody knows the things happen in life and that, but hopefully you've gained some comfort through the readings of Marcus. Of course, Marcus Starr is also on the line tonight.
I definitely have, yes.
Would you mind, you know, sort of speaking to Marcus and giving him some validations of what he said to you in the past, and kind of, you know, if that's okay. I don't want to.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's fine. I've had 2 readings with Marcus now, and both have been very emotional, because it's a connection with my son that I've very much been searching for since he's gone. Lots of questions that were unanswered, and with Marcus, he's been able to help me through that, and he's been able to give me some of the answers. He doesn't even know, like, some of the stuff that he's managed to validate for me, and some stuff that he's also predicted that did actually happen that I've not even managed to give him feedback on yet. But the connection that I have is so important.
Have you found it very helpful? Have you found it a comfort? And
massively.
Yeah.
Absolutely, massively. It's a huge comfort. You know, it's a really hard time, really emotional, very, very close to my son, massive shock to the family. You know, to know that he's okay, to know that he's still with me, to, you know, all of those kind of things, they're huge, and they mean a massive thing to me. And to have that from Marcus is like a miracle, to be fair.
Can I ask, were there, you know, was your son quite a happy-go-lucky type of person and stuff? And
he was. He was a happy-go-lucky kind of person. You wouldn't have expected this. You wouldn't have seen it coming. Yeah, he had everything going for him. He was 25 years old. He travelled the country for where he worked and what he'd done. You know, it was a huge shock to all of us as a family.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you know, and as you say, you know, there are no words, and I can't, you know, I just, you know, it gets me a bit. To be fair, you know, you're very. It's so fantastic you come on tonight, but what I'm going to do is, I mean, has Saleem or Marcus got any other questions for you just at the second? I mean, because you know, can I ask actually how you got in contact with Marcus? Was that through the project, was it?
It was through the project, yes. Last November, not November gone, the one before, I was going to visit my mum in Bedford. I live in Devon.
Wow.
And I was buying my mum some jewellery, and Superman was standing selling tickets, and like the big child that I am, Superman, brilliant, love Superman.
He's good fun.
So yeah. Good fun, yes. So instantly attracted, and then found out what he was doing and what he was selling, and again, absolutely amazing. You know, I can't even begin to describe like how life-changing that must be for people, but such a lovely thing to do, and such a lovely person as well. Yeah. So bought the ticket, and then on the website, checked the website, you know, quite a few times to see what's going on, see the progress, and one thing another, and then saw Marcus on there. So he instantly got in contact and said, you know, this is something that I really want to do, especially after losing my boy. You know, I needed somebody to give me something. Is he okay? Is he all right? And that's what Saleem done for me. He put me in touch with Marcus.
and Marcus is just amazing, absolutely amazing. You know, if anyone has any doubt, then you really have to have a reading and experience it for yourself, because until then, I don't think you can actually fully understand.
No, and you know, can I ask? I mean, what do your family and friends think? Do they know that you speak to Marcus, who's a psychic medium? Do they have any thoughts or reservations about it? Because obviously it's a very big emotional and emotive issue as well when you lose somebody close to yourself. You know, how do they feel? Is that okay to ask?
Yeah, of course. You know, I did go to see a medium before Marcus, just before Christmas, and unfortunately nothing came through at all, nothing that hit home whatsoever. And I was looking for those answers. I was looking to talk to my son, and it didn't come through. Then when I spoke to Marcus, everything came out, and my family were quite concerned because of obviously the effect it would have on me. But because it had such a positive effect, and knowing that I could, you know, feel some comfort to have a connection with my son, my daughters have also had readings with him as well.
Wow.
And he has also predicted stuff for them that again has happened that he probably doesn't even know as of yet either. You know, my daughter, she's got a passport. Nobody knew that she could have got a passport. She was changing jobs. She's left one job that she wasn't happy with, and she got the job that she's really, really happy with. You know, there's so many things. There's so many different bits that have clicked, that have gone, wow, yeah, that happened. So it's the comfort. I think they all see the comfort that I've received from knowing that my boy's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, and I completely understand that. What I'm going to do now...
Can I quickly jump in here, Phil?
Go on, Saleem, yes?
Hi, first of all, good evening, Sam.
Hi, Saleem, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much, honestly, from the bottom of our hearts here at the British Mobility Project. God, I'm choking.
You are more than welcome. What you do is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I know this has been really hard for you, and you know, I just want to honestly thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because it you know, if it wasn't for yourself and you know, and for people like, you know, that are in need, that reach out to us, we've got nobody to help, and you've literally, you know, you've had so much faith in what we do. You've supported us from the offset, you know, from purchasing a ticket all the way through to, as you clearly said, for looking through the website, and you know, being, you know, to have faith in us, and it just means so much to us, and what we would like to do for you this evening as a thank you for your, you know, for having the faith and the trust in us in such a sensitive matter within your life. But you guys are
equally as amazing, because what you've been able to give me is something that, you know, nothing could buy. It's priceless. Having that contact with my son, a loved one that's gone so quickly from me, is absolutely priceless. So to be able to have that, so you are equally amazing in every way as well.
We're so grateful.
Thank you. And what we would like to offer you, if that's okay with you, I would like Marcus to step in right now and give you that connection again, live on this show, if that's okay with you. If that's okay with you, Sam, and if that's okay with you, Marcus.
Of course, 100%, yes.
Okay. I'm going to pass
Hello, Marcus.
Hiya, Sam. Thank you for coming through to us tonight. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you can just relax. You can just relax. Oh, it's lovely to do this for you. Okay, right. Let's have a little look then, my lovely. He's been around me. I know he's been around me today. As I shift my attention from the physical world to the spiritual world, linking him with your lovely son, I'm very, very aware of his presence being around you over the last few days, very, very around you, very, very much interested in the bottom of the stairs. Strangely enough, the bottom of the stairs. So as you come into the front door, you've got the stairs, and there's something, and you know, forgive me for this. He's saying to me something's been either thrown, or through frustration, something's been either thrown on the ground, or something's been you know, through frustration, something's been thrown on the ground, or almost, you know, oh, you know, why did this happen? Why has this actually happened in the way that it has? Now, I can't make out whether he was at the bottom of the stairs or he was at the top of the stairs, but either way, he's mentioning this to me. Would you understand this at all, Sam? God bless you, my lovely.
Yes, I dropped a glass at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay, right. And you know, such frustration, because although that glass dropped, and I know it's you know, generally people do drop glasses, but it just brought back everything. God bless you, darling, brought back everything for you. And you just thought to yourself, why is this happening? Why are these things going on? Why am I going through this difficulty? And it was just one extra thing on top of everything that's happened for you. God bless you, my lovely, in your lovely life, that, you know, just highlighted everything up. So something quite small, but something quite big, you know. And so did you do that at the bottom of the stairs? Because if it was that's right, I felt that, because he's saying, Mum, I was at the top of the stairs and I was looking down there and I was watching you get frustrated with this. He's very, very much around you. Now, I also want to draw my attention, as I link in with him in the spirit world, he's talking about the validation evidence about something being removed from the mantelpiece to the window, which obviously the sunshine's coming through now, something in remembrance of him. So a card with his photo on, or a remembrance card, or even his photo even, Sam, I want to say. Have you recently, of the last 2 days, moved something from one side of the room to the other, my lovely? God bless you, lovely lady you are.
I've moved his photos where I keep his ashes from one shelf to another.
That's what he's aware, and he's just saying he's so happy that you've done that, because as I merge with your lovely son, it's lovely because he feels like you've put him into the light. It was sunny on this day as well.
Yeah.
It was sunny. The sun was shining on the photo, and you know. He does love you. Now, he's also talking about, because he was a jolly, happy chap, wasn't he? As you were.
Very much so.
We've had conversations about his jolliness, haven't we? Sam?
Yeah.
You know? And you know, he often looks through the window. Well, not the window. Silly Billy me. He's often looking through the window of the mirror. So it's the mirror that he's looking at, and he's messing about at the mirror, and you sense that. But he's also saying to me, now he was a massive fan of trainers. He had lots of trainers.
That's right.
And he was, even when he was, you know, before, and forgive me again, I've got to give you validation evidence, before he was cremated, lovely man he is, because Sam, there's no such thing as death, just change. There's no such thing as, you know, he'll be with you for life. He's going to be around you, very much so. And he's going to get you through this as well as myself. And, you know, we are going to get you through this, love. We are. Okay, darling, God bless you. But his pair of trainers specifically was on his feet as he you know, before he went through the procedure of the cremation on the day. Would you understand these trainers were placed on him?
Yeah, I washed his trainers that he wore that day because they were muddy, and he had to, although he went in his smart clothes, I wanted him to have his jogging bottoms and his hoodie and his trainers.
He was laughing his head off at this. He thought it was so funny because you see, his body's no more, but his soul, his heart, his energy emerging with myself this evening and yourself, because you do feel him very much there, and giving us the validation of the trainers as he goes through that. Okay, my lovely. Now, would you understand, Sam? He's talking about, and these are new things that we're talking about. He's discussing to me very much about another pair of trainers, another pair of trainers that are near the door or the back door or the front door that he's very much looking at. Would you have you kept them there for remembrance?
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel as if these been removed this week.
They've been moved from one place to another.
That's right, because he keeps looking at these. He just thinks...
You want me to put them back?
He wants you to keep them there, darling.
Yeah.
He wants you to keep them there. He says, you want to get your garden sorted, you don't know what you're going to do.
He done it all for me.
He done it all, yeah. But now he's also saying to me that there's going to be something placed. You've been thinking about this, Sam. Something placed, and I will get to the bottom of it as I link in with him. Something placed in that garden from yourself.
Okay.
You may not know about this yet, but there's something this year. During July time, something this year is going to be placed of a remembrance in your garden. And he's showing me a little teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's let me just ask him. Okay, sir, just validate that for me. Is there a little teddy bear that he's got?
We found the teddy bear that he'd bought for my daughter's 16th.
That's right.
And it went back to her not
right.
so long ago.
God bless you, my darling. Thank you. It may be her that's going to put that in the garden, or put that somewhere, as a remembrance in a room or in that garden. But I know there's something in the garden going to be planted, or something's going to be done. No, it's saying it's going to be your garden.
I do have a white rose bush that I have specifically for Reese.
I know, love. So he's making you aware that's a prediction that's coming up over the next sort of 2-3 weeks,
Okay.
and it's going to collide or emerge in with a birthday or a celebration that is coming up around the May sort of area, sort of back end 23rd, 24th of May. Would you understand that?
My granddaughter's birthday.
That's right, and it's going to emerge somehow. It's just going to emerge with each other. What a lovely prediction he's giving to you. Now, he's also talking about this week's been quite a busy week in the sense of paperwork. He says you're trying to get on with your work, you're trying to be motivated. God bless you. You're trying to be, and he says, well done, Mum, because you've been really motivated. You've been really.
This has been a crazy busy week.
I know it has. I know, and he's saying, but well done, Mum. You're well done. You're getting on with it. You're doing it.
I'm shattered.
I know, my lovely, I know. And you've been getting all the rubbish bags out, putting them all out, and you're trying to clear the energy.
Yeah.
Now, we've had conversations before about his activity, what he's going to do to make him aware that he's around you. And one of the things that I feel very much so, two things that he's showing me. Okay, thank you, young man. He's showed me a ball that he's going to drop from this football or ball is very much at the top of a bookshelf or say on top of a shelf. That's going to fall off.
Right.
And that's going to make you aware that he's around. But also, there's also something else, and I'm just trying to link in with him with this. Right. Can you recall the ball?
Not off the top of my head.
It may be a tennis ball.
It could be his little dog's ball.
Okay.
He left me with his little dog. and she has
That's
a bowl
right.
that we put up because she eats
right.
it.
That's right. Now, with this doggy, is the doggy's bowl there that he would have ate out of? Is that still with you? Because he's talking about the bowl.
Yeah.
It's a silver one.
That's right.
It's a silver one. That's right. Yes, and he's saying, because the silver bowl is near the trailers, near the back door.
Correct.
He's saying to me, would you understand that, Sam? So that links in and ties in with this, you see. Oh, God bless him. Sam, I want you to know that he, as he sort of talks about his passing and talks about things that happened toward that time, he wants you to know that he didn't feel no pain towards the end of his life. Very much a situation that he had where he walked out of the house. No one would have known this. No one would have known. He walked out of... Are you okay, my darling? God bless you.
Yeah. I just miss him so much.
I know you do, love. I know you do. I know. He says, I miss you, Mum. He says, but I'm still my happy self. I'm still my happy smat. I'm still... Do you know what? He does say things strange to me.
Yeah.
You'll hear that I'm saying strange things because, he's talking about all sorts of things because he was... very much a jokative person in his earthly life. Do you understand that? So he would prank around, have jokes. Yes, do you understand that, love? And this is why there's some things that are coming out of my physical. We call this the voice box. Some things that are coming out of my voice box, and something you'll think, well, that's strange how Marcus is saying this, but it's just him just talking through me. So forgive us on that, okay, love. But he wants you to know that once he went ahead with a situation, he couldn't turn back. And as he sort of leaned forward to do what he did, he just couldn't turn back, Sam. But he wants you to know at that time, and obviously there's certain things I want to give you. Obviously, you're up on the radio, so certain things I can't give you. But I can say this: he wasn't in any pain, lovey. All right, darling, towards the end, because that's something that you really worry about. And even today, I feel today, why did he do what he did? What happened? What went wrong? What did I do for him to do this? What did I do? What did I do wrong? And I feel you just, that glass smashing, everything happening today, particularly the bottom of the stairs that he looked at, it's just another thing that made you think to yourself, why? Why did it all happen? What did I do wrong as a mum? And I want you to know this. He makes this very clear as he comes through. You did nothing wrong, my love.
Thank you.
You did nothing wrong at all. Now, he's talking, he's got a lot to tell you, God bless him. He's very proud. He's very proud of your strength, very proud of your strength. He's talking, he's so happy to be here with us. He's talking about someone, now let me just get this right, I've got to get this right for you, Sam. He's talking about someone that, no, it's himself. Did he have a tattoo on his right arm or hand? He's talking about a tattoo here. Okay, now, right. Now, let me just have a word with him here. Let me just... Right, okay, right. He's talking about... right. I'm trying really hard to sort of validate and him to come forward and just mention to you about this tattoo. It's very valuable to yourself and to him. Right, he's talking about, and he's making me aware as I merge with him, the feelings I've got is like an angel tattoo, and there was something about cigarettes here. Or smoking?
It was the Hulk.
It was the Hulk, right? Okay,
Yeah.
God bless you. God bless this. Okay, so, but he's making you wear the tattoo.
The funny story about it is there was 3 of us that found out that we'd paid for that tattoo for his birthday.
Yes, yeah. And
None
would
of
you
us had known.
God bless you. And would you understand that on that day he would have had, and forgive us again, a little bit of weed?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And that's why I was referring to this, because it's like, I'm having me tattoo done.
Yeah.
He's sitting there. There's no pain.
No.
So you see, so he's a very happy-go-lucky, still in the spirit world. Still in the spirit, very happy-go-lucky person, and that personality of him, Sam, will never change, will never disappear. His energy around the house will still be around. Very, very much so. Now, he's also talking to me about his knees here. Did he feel uncomfortable with his knees?
It's my knee.
It's your knee, right? Okay,
Yeah.
lovely, right. Right, okay. He just wants you. There's no problems. There's no dramatic issues. But he wants you just to get. My knee's just clicked. He wants you just to get that knee just checked out, just on the right, because it does give you a little bit of pain. He's saying to me.
I was supposed to go for physio, and I haven't made the appointment yet.
God bless you. Well, it's the last thing on your mind, and it really is. But he says, love, he says, Mum, he says, I want you to look after yourself. He says a lot of family are looking after you. A lot of family are doing what they should. They're doing marvellous. But he says, I want you to look after yourself as well. They're looking after you. What a lovely, lovely, beautiful family that you've got. Yeah. He says, I have been around different people's homes. I have been travelling around. I'm going into a new home very shortly, he's saying, Mum. I'm looking at ceiling lights here and a property that's just been done and just been sorted out. It's a neutral coloured property, and I'm looking around and I'm really impressed with it. So with one of your children, have they just gone into a new home or they've just decorated, Sam?
My eldest daughter, she's just moved into a new flat that's been refurbed.
That's right. It's a lovely flat. I know he's very impressed with this. I know he's very impressed with this flat. And, he's been sitting there. She may decide, he's sitting on a high-raised stool for the kitchen. There's a high-raised seat here, a high-raised stool. So you have to ask her if she's going to... And would you understand that?
They are, and they...
Yeah, she's
There's
talking.
2 breakfast stools in there.
That's right, because he says he's in there having breakfast, So he's very much around, but no one would have known, Sam. No one would have known that he was going to do this. And, just highlighting again to you that this wasn't your fault, Sam. No one would have known. He was very much someone that kept himself to himself.
Very much.
Certain things I want to say to you, obviously we're on air, so we'll come to them another day. Yeah. But certain person that we know where we're going with that.
Yeah.
And that didn't make him very happy of the situation.
No, unfortunately.
And he just wants to say he's very sorry to the family, and he just wants you to know that he's very frustrated over here as well with all this, because of the fact that he went over like he did. He just regrets everything that he's done. I want you to know that. But he says the more happiness you have in your life, the more you, obviously you can't move forward, but the more you are comfortable with the situation and going forward, every day that gets better, every day that gets stronger, you're moving forward, you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. He's there, I'm there. The more we progress with your energy, the more we go forward, the more he will be happy in his life, in his lovely existence in the spiritual world with his family. There is a grandma that's around him that I feel is very, very connected. Who would Jonathan or John be, please?
Not sure.
Okay, because he's talking about Jonathan. I feel as if this is on Grandad's side, but we'll come back to that. But I do know that there's other families around himself.
Yes.
There's also, as I link with him, there's a child. He picks up a child here. He picks up a child in his arms. So, was there a miscarriage or loss of a child with this? With yourself?
My very first granddaughter.
Forgive me for asking
was stillborn.
Right. Okay. Yes.
She'll be 7 in May.
Yes, that's right. 'Cause I was going back 9 or 7 years. That's right. That's it. I also want to say, Sam, that you're also going to find very shortly, and he's validated this for him. Thank you, sir. He's talking about the ball again that's going to drop and you're going to find. It's going to be a Christmas bauble. It's not a tennis ball, forgive me. It's a Christmas bauble, and it's a red one. All right? Okay. So that's a sign that he's been around you this evening. That's a sign that he's trying to, come through here. He's coming through very well, I must say. And that's a sign that he's very, very, very much, will come out. You will find it. You will see it. It's a very glistening, if I say this, it's a very glistening Christmas bauble.
Okay.
And every year when you put the Christmas tree out, there's the texture of the bauble is very, I would say, glittery. Would you understand your baubles have glitter over them?
Yes.
And they're red. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah. This is one that you are going to find very shortly. Unexpectedly, it may be the case where it's just sort of, sitting there on the chair or sitting somewhere, and you've just not done anything to create that atmosphere. It's his way of saying that Christmas we had lovely Christmases, and you made them as lovely as you did. And you made them really peaceful and happy for all of us. And he wants you to know that because you've done your best, Sam.
Thank you.
You did really, really do your best. Now, he's also talking to me here about an inquest or some kind of get-together in a court or inquest. Has there been an inquest?
I think it was Thursday.
Because he was there at that inquest.
Yeah.
And would you understand there were certain situations, obviously again we can't go into too much, but there were certain situations there that you weren't happy with?
There was loads.
Because he's saying to me, I was there, Mum, I was there and I heard everything.
They got the date wrong. The first thing that happened, the first thing that got mentioned was the date was wrong, and I had to stop him in his tracks and question it.
Yeah, and also there was a situation, God bless you, he's also saying to me, who found me, there was indecisions right, let me just listen to it. Right, okay, good man. He's saying there was indecisions on who found me. There was two people who found me. There was indecisions. One didn't come for, one did, and there was issues and problems around this. Would you understand that, Sam?
Yeah, I would. We only found out on the inquest the real details of how he was actually found. And we wasn't told that at the beginning. So for the last over a year, I've been living with one version of events, and last week at the
yes,
we got completely different.
Well, the reason why they kept that from you is because they weren't sure about the surroundings of the situation, but they're sure now. They wanted to finalise everything and get things right. But he was there, and now I feel that. It was annoying for you last week because obviously you only just found out, but at the same time it was relieving to you because obviously now you know exactly what did happen without going into obviously we're on here, but it's very important that he's also talking about, sorry he keeps switching around here, God bless him, he's talking about Stephen,
my brother.
Is that your brother, Stephen?
Yeah.
Okay, right, okay. Let's have a look. Right, okay. Lovely man, absolutely fine. Would you understand there's a lot... Right, okay, now would you this is a bit sensitive, but he's saying to me, Sam, would you understand that you've had great concerns about how some of the family members may react with certain things without going into it too much, and you're concerned in case there's trouble or situations occurring? Do you understand that, love?
Yeah.
You know what he's trying to say here, and you're a little concerned about that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes. I do feel with what he's saying. I mean, he wants the family, you know, he wants certain people just to hold back from that. But he's also, because he doesn't want no trouble or tribulations. But he's also saying to me, Sam, that you're not too convinced yourself that there is not going to be any trouble.
I'm not sure.
He wants you to relax on this, because he's saying to me he's going to try and help this situation. He's going to try and merge with the energies, and try and get into certain people's minds to try and change the energy there. He's going to try and persuade the energy. So please don't worry about that, because you've been a bit concerned about this, haven't you, over the last 3-4 days?
Yeah.
God bless you, love. I know. Well, there's frustration, there's anger, and there's frustration, you see, isn't there, with the whole situation?
Yeah.
I do understand. Obviously, not going too much into it. You know more, you know.
Yeah.
We're alive, but he wants you to know that it is going to be settled very shortly with all that. You know. Now he's coming back to Stephen. He did jump around, but he's coming back to Stephen now. Now that's just. He's a lovely man, isn't he?
He's amazing.
He wants to say thank you to him, because he's been such a great support. You know, such a fantastic support. The family have, but you know, Stephen has as well.
Yeah.
But he you know, a little message from him to Stephen. He's talking about smoking. He doesn't want him to smoke. Does Stephen smoke?
Yes, he does.
He would prefer him, and I don't know why. Obviously, you know, it goes higher up than your son. It goes higher up, you know. But it would be beneficial for him to just slow down the smoking, because it's you know. So, but there's no problems with it. You know, I don't see no tragedies or anything like this. But he would prefer. For him to just, but it's pressure. It's life pressure. It's life pressure, and he's very busy at the moment, isn't he? He's very busy. He's doing this, doing that.
He's working away at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing, and he's proud. He's proud of your brother. He's so proud of him. He's a lovely man. He's so proud of him. He really is. He's got great intentions and morals and ethics. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
He's very much the sort of man that, you know, if something's got to be done, he'll do it right, professional. It has to be done in a correct manner.
Very much
and,
so.
You know, and he's going to lead the way over the next few months. He's saying, Mummy's going to lead the way. He's going to really help you in lots of ways, as well as the family. But he really is going to do this.
Okay.
He's saying, Mum, he says, you could keep your car. He says, but. You know, he says, I want you to keep it. He says, it's a part of the family. He says, you could change your car, but he doesn't want you to do it. Have you been thinking about changing that, Sam?
I have a white van that he absolutely loved.
Oh, he loves it.
I've had so much work done to it because of the sentimental value of how much he loved it. It would have been cheaper for me to get another van, but it will stay forever, and I have got to get a car.
Oh, yeah, no, he's.
But the van will stay.
Yeah, you know, he watches you, he's around you, he gives you great comfort and security. He very, very much gives you peace of mind, and he is going to give you peace of mind. whether it's in your sleep, you'll wake up very suddenly, he'll be there. I feel that's another thing. And I know, we all have sleep dreams and things, but this has been very, very vibrant over the last few days, I feel, with your sleep. Very, very vibrant.
Yeah, he comes to me a lot in my sleep.
That's right. But he's still his happy-go-lucky self. He's still very, very around you. Now he's turning his energy, he's emerging and turning his energy to his children. Now, did he have children, my lovely? He's making aware of children.
No, he didn't.
He didn't have children, right? Let's have a look where these children. He's taking energy to children to. He's talking about. He's for a Sarah.
No.
Okay, it's all right, lovely. It's okay. Right, let's have a word with him about this. But he's making. Right, okay. One of your daughters, he's talking about 2 children here. 2 children.
Yeah.
Does one want another child?
My eldest daughter's got 2 children.
Yeah, there may be another child. He's talking about another child here.
My youngest daughter is 6 months pregnant.
Ah, right, okay, right. Would you understand, as I'm linking in with him, I mean, we're not going to get this exact, but he's talking to me about names: Sarah, Selena, Samantha, and I've got this S letter.
My daughter's middle name is Selena.
Selena, okay, right,
Yeah.
okay, I understand, right, Selena. So that validates where he's going with these 2 children. There will be a third, obviously, you know that. I didn't know that. He's given me the validation of this. And he yes, because he's saying to me, as we go towards this situation, it is going to be absolutely perfectly fine.
Oh, good.
It'll be a quick delivery, you're saying to me.
She's really worried.
Yes, I know he's aware of this. He is aware of this. Has she been using glasses or contact lenses for close-up reading?
No, but she should.
She should, yes, she should, particularly for driving if she drives, he's saying to me.
Yeah.
Particularly so, but he's very, very there for her, and he's holding her hand 100%. And she does get fed up with things, obviously, but she's going to be fine. I don't see no major problems. And he just wants her to say it's going to be a happy celebration. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful memory, a wonderful memory link to come. And let me hear more what he's saying to me. I'm really enjoying this, Sam, with you. God bless you, darling.
Oh, thank you.
Right. He's talking about memory links about him and school. And I know that he's going to your daughter about this as well, because obviously he's going to take children to school and things like that. But particularly himself, Sam.
Okay.
When you used to take him to school, he sometimes didn't want to go.
Never wanted to go.
School was a problem. It's like he didn't want to go, didn't want to do it, and yet he was very, very intelligent, and yet he just didn't want to do it. And he showed me memory links of you saying, "Come on, we've got to go. We've got to go."
Very clever.
Yeah, very, very much so. And when you sit there and you, God bless you, love, you sit there and you think, well, I've gone through the labour, I've gone through the school, I've gone through this, I've gone through that. Why has this happened like it has?
Yeah.
And it's just something that has happened. It's an awful experience for you, and as I say, I do. Whenever you come through, you're very brave to be able to connect with your son, but he loves you so much, and everything that you've done for him over the years, from birth to now, he wants you to know conclusively that it's very, very appreciated. And my lovely, again, it wasn't you that's created this situation. It really wasn't, and he wants you to know everything you've done, everything from the school clothes that you've put on him, the jumpers that you've put on him, because he wasn't. He's saying, "Bugger me." He says, "Mum, I weren't easy with clothes. Clothes weren't easy to come on me. They were difficult, especially on my arms and my shoulders."
It wasn't expensive for me.
God bless you. So you know, he's still around. His energy is still around. He's very, very much there for you.
Thank you so much.
And
Marcus.
before he goes, he just wants you to know that all these days that you've had, they were worthwhile, and they're memories that you'll have, not just in this life, but another life for when you see him in the future. He does want you to keep strong, Sam. He wants you in He wants you in this physical world.
I'm trying.
He wants you in this physical world. Okay, lovely. I'll leave your love with him.
Okay.
And God bless you, Sam. And thank you very much. Just a little something for you to say thank you for tonight. All right.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you,
bless you, darling.
Marcus.
I'll leave your son's love with you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Marcus.
Take care.
And thank you as well to Sam. Sam, that was so emotional.
Thank you.
And I'm sure, I'm aware, so many people rooting for you there. It's such an emotional subject, such a tough subject as well. And I mean, do you feel a little bit sort of easier tonight?
It's the only way I can describe it is it's a very bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's the connection that I have that I get from my son, and I do feel it. I genuinely do feel it. And the emotion kicks in, and it hurts that he's not with me.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
But
Yeah.
it's so lovely at the same time. I'm really sorry. Every time I talk to Marcus, I just end up in a big emotional wreck.
No.
But it's brilliant. You know, it's the best thing ever, because it's the only way that I can have any form of connection with my boy at all.
Yeah.
And he means the world to me.
No, look, Sam, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And
No, thank you.
I just hope that, you know, things feel a little bit lighter for you very soon. What I would say is, have you got friends and family with you tonight that you can...
I've always got them with me, always. Yeah. Honestly, they're always back in my corner. We are a very strong unit.
That's brilliant. That's always good to hear. Well, Sam, thank you so much for chatting to us again.
Lovely to speak to you.
I'm going to
God
go
bless
now.
you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you so much. So emotional.
Not a problem.
I'm
going to be sending some healing to you, Sam, again this evening, love.
Thank you, Marcus.
All right.
I really appreciate everything you do. Honestly, I really do. I genuinely mean it from my heart. It's amazing.
I know you do, love. And this is what I do this work for. This is why I've been doing this for 20 years, love, because I enjoy bringing the two worlds together.
You're like an angel, Marcus.
Thank you again so much, Sam, for coming on. And,
No problem.
and look, have a really lovely night, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to leave that there for now, but so emotional, and thank you very much, Sam. Really.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, have a good night. Good night. Bye-bye. Right, okay, guys. What we're going to do, because that was such an emotional reading, I'm going to give Marcus a little break. We're all going to have a little break for a few minutes, come back, and we promise to read some more of the text messages, some more. You know, I know loads of people have been getting involved tonight, and I really appreciate it. Of course, we're sponsored down here by the BritishMobilityProject.com. I'm Phil G, along with Saleem Syed and Marcus Starr, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes' time, so please stay exactly where you are for more readings that are coming up for different people through the show. All right, thank you. Hello, Marcus. Oh God, how was that? Was that all right? Yeah. I'm not waiting. Yeah. And what a fantastic read there from Marcus Starr, Psychic Medium. Hi Marcus, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm okay, yes, thank you. Are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, could I just ask how you feel after a reading like that? Is it quite draining on your energy, sort of thing? Is it draining on your, do you find, is it like a battery that sort of goes down slowly? Because that was quite an intense read there.
Yes, very much so. Yes, very much so. It can be quite sort of draining sometimes, but Sam's so lovely, and the connection we had with her son was amazing, and her son, is half in the spirit world and half in the physical world. So again, that does really helps the connection, because when a spirit is half in the spirit world and half in the physical world, because of certain reasons leading up to their passing over and the way they've passed over, the energy is so much easier on the medium. So the mediumship sitting this evening is been lovely with Sam, and I thank her very much for coming through, and it's just lovely that her son's connected. So there's a lot of energy left for some other things. So yes, I'm excited. Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to go through some texts, and it's specifically this one from last week, which I hope to do a little bit earlier on, but unfortunately, I got caught up actually with something else, but I hope to do it earlier on, and we will be doing it in just a second. Are you guys still there? Very quick.
Absolutely. Honestly, I'm not being funny, Phil. I need to just let you know. I mean, I'm so glad that I've not been able to have an opportunity to talk, because I've been in absolute pieces. I've not been so emotional like this for a very, very long time. I don't think I've heard a story or heard anything quite like that in all my life, to be honest with you.
I was very choked up by it.
And I think and I hope the listeners will also feel the same. This is literally really broken me. I'm speechless. I've not been speechless for a very long time. I'm speechless, honestly, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, such an emotional subject to speak about, such a brave person to come on the show and talk about that, and have a fantastic reading from Marcus.
And it's so lovely as well, because what happens is when I connect with the spirit world, that spirit can rest. That spirit can have great peace of mind that he's connected, or she's connected with their lovely family members. So it goes all in different directions. They're happy. Obviously Sam's more happy and content this evening, and also I'm happy and content because I was able to bring and merge the two souls, the two spirits together, so we can reach out and validate things, and give that importance to whomever I need to. Yeah,
I find it so fascinating that you can bring two worlds together like that. It just shows you there's something more than just a human body and a human mind.
There is, I say unfortunate. It's not unfortunate. It's a fantastic thing when you go over there, because there's no such thing as death, just change. But for anybody that is a little bit skeptic, we are all going to go to that place at some point. And when I do my shows and I stand up in an audience, I always say at the start, this is where we're going to go in the end. And it's a fact. That is scientifically a fact.
There's no other way, is there?
Well, that's right. It's science. That's right. So we're all going to go somewhere, and very early on as a child, I wanted to know, where do we go? Why are we here? What's the nature of us being here? And where do we go? And this physical earth where we live, for Sam, for myself, for all of us on Earth, this is just a temporary, in a temporary shell until we do leave our shell, leave our earthly body, and go over to the spirit world, and then go into the next world. I'm very, very much a believer of reincarnation, and with what I've seen as a medium over many years, I've seen many, many different realms, many, many different worlds. And the only way to describe on Earth is you're going to school. Every day is a school day. It's school. We are literally here. You learn something. Yes, you're in class, and this is a school. And this is why it's so lovely to be able to do this, because it's so lovely just to be able to reach out to the spirit world and connect for them, because they want to connect with their loved ones. They want to say we're still with us. They want to say that we're still here, and it's very important for them to come through. So it's been a lovely evening, and I thank everyone for making this happen.
Thank you so much again, Marcus. You're a star. And you are a star. And you are a star. And can I ask, are you related to Ringo Starr?
Well, no, it's Freddie.
Oh, sorry, Freddie Starr. You're related to Freddie Starr.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Not the Beatles, but Freddie. That's fantastic. Fantastic stuff. I love it. Okay, great stuff. Well, look, I had some messages last week, and I promised to read them on tonight's show. And if it's possible, and okay with you, a lovely lady came up last week with the name of Melissa Kellard. I asked her especially, she's been watching since 8 o'clock this evening, to come back to the show for this week, and she'd like to know, she said, I'd love to hear about my granddad if possible. He passed a couple of years ago.
Oh, thank you. And that's Melissa, God bless her.
Melissa. Yeah.
Melissa, okay, lovely Melissa, right. Okay, well, Melissa, hi, thank you for coming through. Let's have a look, see if there is an energy, a message, if I can turn my attention to that world over there. Let's have a little listen to what they're saying. Melissa, the first thing that comes through for you, Melissa, God bless you, is that you didn't really get a chance, I don't feel, to say your goodbyes in the way that you wanted to. And I feel in itself that's a great frustration for you. I'm sort of going back quite a few years here, but I know that there was a time where, everything wasn't too bad. There's lots of youth, and we enjoy ourselves, and sometimes we don't realise and don't understand what's going on around us. We're in certain situations. He is with me, but he wants me to tell you that in his own way, he said his goodbyes, and he's very, very much around you, particularly around you. And there's a little ring that you've got of his, or a sovereign ring that you've got of his. And he just wants you to know that you know, and he knows that you've done your best to say your goodbyes, to get there towards the end, and to do what you possibly could to be around him towards the last of his days. But again, lovely lady you are, there is no such thing as death, just change, and he wants you to know that. And thank you for coming through. Thank you. I hope that helps you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I really do hope that helps you too. And that's what it's all about. It's about helping people, connecting people, and giving people validation as well. We are hoping to have, and I'm sure he will be watching somewhere, Paul King to come back from last week's show, who gave quite an in-depth reading on, actually, and from what he said, a very accurate reading. I've asked him to come back to the show tonight, just to validate a few of the things that you've said, Marcus. And I'm so excited. I have called him once, and I hope you don't mind. I'm going to call him again while we're both here, just very quickly. So this is just a validation, guys. It's not another reading, okay? As long as Marcus is happy with that, of course.
Yes.
I'm just going to give it a go now on the phone here. So let's see what happens. But we've had loads of messages tonight, even somebody who wants to connect from Egypt. Unfortunately, we aren't set up for that line just at the moment. But I tell you what people are saying. Chris Smithhair says, good evening, everyone. Hello to you,
Welcome
Chris.
to the O2 messaging service.
Okay,
Phil, as we're waiting there,
yeah.
I just want to say with Melissa as well, there's also going to be a wedding coming up as well. There's going to be some kind of a wedding coming up or an engagement coming up.
Okay.
I want to give that to her as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's great. I mean, do the spirits? You know, when you were talking to Sam just a little while back, and you said the spirits, like her son was talking to you very quickly. I mean, can they, give you more than one message at once? Do you know what I mean? Is that why sometimes becomes a little bit blurred lines, sort of?
And often you'll see when we start doing these shows, and I sort of choose people out of the audience, is what you'll notice sometimes is there's multiple spirits come through to me. So as the medium, I have to look at the energy, feel the energy, and allow each spirit to say, or we should say, give the message to me to give to the audience, or that's someone that needs that message, or someone that's supposed to have that message from their relatives. So often I'm separating the energies, but yes, you are right. The spirits do come sometimes all together to us, and they want, to give us validations, evidence, proof of survival that they're there. That's right.
I mean, what is it like for you if you walk through a busy town centre, or you go to a music festival, or God forbid a nightclub or something like that, where there's lots of people, lots of bodies about?
Yes, that's right.
Can you pick up on different energies as you walk through a room?
Well, it's an interesting question, Phil, and it's very important for any sort of psychics that are listening, say, for psychic mediums that are training or going through. I mean, I do train myself, but for anybody that's sort of listening, that he's wanting to get involved with the psychic world or the spiritual medium mystic world, it's very important for them to know that you do have to shut yourself down. There is certain ways I open myself, and there's certain ways I shut myself down. So it's my way of saying, I love you very much, the spirit world, but I do need my rest. I do need to have time out. I do need a little bit of a rest here. And then obviously when I open myself up, the spirits come through to us, and obviously they can connect them in different ways. So there is a process that I quite often go through. At the start and at the end. There has to be a start and an end, you say.
Just ask as well, is intuition, like, you sort of know something's going to happen, the same as being psychic, or are they two separate things?
Well, they are separate things, but some people have got more intuition than others. And if you sort of delve into the psychic world, for example, because psychic is feeling the energy, the medium mystic side of it is talking to the spirits and feeling the spiritual energy. A lot of people can connect with. A lot of people can connect on a psychic level, feel the energy, and you're quite right. I mean, even if you go into a new home and you look around, sometimes you think, well, I really like this house, or I really don't like this house. So that's your sort of, I suppose, in some ways, an instinct, but that can be developed over time, and then that can be transferred over to the psychic energy. So it is complicated, but yes, a lot of times people are psychic and they don't know about it.
Sometimes I used to have dreams, especially when I was in my teenage years. I used to have dreams.
Yes.
And it was like deja vu, because, a month later, 6 months later, I could think to myself, I have been to this place before, even though I may not have ever been there in my life. For instance, say it was somebody's flat that I've never been to, or somebody's house, but I'd seen it somewhere before.
Yes.
Is deja vu anyway linked to that?
It is, and sometimes, obviously, I'm very, very aware of previous lives. It could be a previous life that you've had, but also over 20 years of doing this work, it's more likely the spirit's trying to come through to you. There's different ways that loved ones will try and come through to their family members. Sometimes you can be in a car, and as you're in a car, you can, you'll walk by, you'll see someone. Sometimes they show you, they'll show you in the way of the clone of themselves. And I feel Sam will have this. I feel she'll see a young man, and it will be very much a clone of her son, or very similar in characteristics of a son. It may be personality even, but that's one way they can show you, oh, that looks like my nan, oh, that looks like my grandfather, oh, that looks like my son. So that's the way they can show you. You may be in the car, you're listening to music, and you just feel that music's come on, and then it just gives you a memory link of a moment that you had with that loved one. So there's different ways that they can connect with you in different ways, and one of the ways is through sleep, and then through instinct. If you've got a strong instinct that you've been here before, or you get a strong instinct that something's going to happen, that's another way that they contact you to give you a little prediction of maybe something that you've got to be aware of, something that's not quite right. So it's interesting, Phil. Yeah, it goes on. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I'm just going to go quickly back to the texties, if that's okay.
Okay. Yes.
Marcus, thank you very much. Just give me 2 seconds. I've got so many buttons here, it's untrue. Okay, so Bev Britton actually says, oh yes, it is Bev Britton, sorry, I've not got my glasses on. She says, stayed up to listen to you, Marcus. So that's lovely, isn't it? Bev Britton.
It is, and thank you, Bev, for coming through. God bless you.
And, okay. So Diego Carvello, who I think Saleem Syed would know quite well, is said, Batman's nice too, I hear. If you're there, Saleem.
I am indeed.
Exactly. Yes, your friend Diego, as Batman, of course, says, Batman's nice too, I hear. Of course, because we've got the lovely Superman yourself, and the superheroes that go out and about, and that's you, of course. I mean, Saleem, on the project side of things, okay, because you're obviously the director and the executive director and producer and coordinator and project manager, and like there's so many things I could say to you about the different roles that you play for the BritishMobilityProject.com. How do you feel about everything? How are you feeling at the moment?
As I said to you earlier, I'm absolutely speechless. I mean, I've worked with Marcus, for 2 years. I mean, I've seen a lot, and I've not been shocked that many times in a significant way, other than tonight, because tonight was extremely close and personal. I've never been privy to that type of reading, because obviously I'm obviously doing the back office. I'm obviously doing the bookings. I'm doing a lot of the customer service, customer facing part of the project. I've never ever been privy, because obviously all the readings that Marcus does is in confidence and in private. Marcus doesn't discuss anything with me thereafter. No. It's obviously it's confident.
Everything is private and confidential.
And exactly, Phil. And I literally, I don't know what to say. I'm actually in a bit of a state at the moment, to be fair, because
that was so emotional. It was so emotional.
I was genuinely in tears for almost 20 minutes because I just felt for Sam, and I know how much that she believes in our product and what we do, and she's supported us, and yes, we've supported Sam as well at the same time. We've done so much for each other, and like we do with a lot of our clients. It's not obviously Sam's is one of our clients, and we do a lot for so many people, and it's just I'm speechless, Phil, to be honest with you.
It's such a lovely thing for Marcus to be able to provide to people as well, and of course through the company, the BritishMobilityProject.com, which is on the screen there, ladies and gents. So if you would like to click on it, Saleem does so many different aspects of the business, including Superman.com. Is that correct? Is it Superman Records?
Supermanmusic.com.
Do you know what? I do apologise. I knew it was that, and I said anyway. Supermanmusic.com, and that's absolutely fabulous, because that's where, like, a lot of your celebrities come from. We've spoken a little bit about James Mason before. Jack Mason, I do apologise, and he you know, was runner-up X Factor. I think he was sixth, and he went to Louis Walsh's house and stuff like that in the finals there, and you know, all these sort of things. And of course, the biggest thing that you do is, of course, with the mobilityproject.com, and that is, of course, wheelchairs and assistance vehicles and mobility scooters, which is great for the community, and you do it in communities all over the UK. And as I say, the way to get hold of Saleem or Marcus, if you'd like a reading, a full reading, because as you see, Marcus gets very detailed with these readings, and he can give a lot of validation. And as you heard there as well, Sam was very happy, obviously very emotional, but is really happy to be able to connect with people who've passed on. So it's the BritishMobilityProject.com. Go to the drop-down menu, and there you will find Marcus Starr, Psychic Medium. I am going to go back to the text now, because we're going to try and get another validation from Paul King. Hopefully he can come on tonight's show. And I've got another message here. Daryl Hardwin says hi from South Africa. Daryl Hardwin says hi from South Africa.
Thank you.
And also Ehab Malik says, can we make a call to him? He's over in Egypt, or she. Apologies if I got that wrong. Unfortunately, we can't connect over to there tonight. I've said if he or she would like to send a message to us, then I could relay the message to yourself, Marcus. Okay.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, he has sent a message, actually, or she has sent a message. Ehab Malek, thank you for this, by the way. My ex-dad-in-law passed away, and he was a fraud. Can you give me his bank account? Very funny. I wasn't expecting that one, guys. We've had a very serious show tonight. Please don't make jokes like that on tonight's show. My ex-dad-in-law passed away, and he was a fraud. Can you give me his bank account? You know, silly thing to say. Lisa Harris has asked, anything for me, please. This is a Lisa Harris.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you for coming through. Right, so let's have a look at this. Thank you. Right, let's have a look at this. Right, okay, Lisa. I'm quite excited for you, actually. There's a child in the spirit world that's linking in with me, with yourself, and this child is talking about you've either just moved home or you're going to move house. Look out for a new move. Look out for a new move or a changing of residence very shortly. And I feel quite excited about this, I really do. This child's very much making me aware of this. Very exciting times for it. Certainly change with the residents. Thank you for coming through. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of the mobility scheme. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus, once again there. That's fantastic. Okay, so we've got a couple more messages. Chris Smithhurst just wanted to say amazing. Big thumbs up. So well done. And also, where is Paul King tonight? That is the $1 million question, guys. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's that on the messages there. Just for the second, let me just try Paul once again, just to try and see if we can get his validation. I'll give him this last try, and if he doesn't come through, we leave it for tonight and hopefully get him back next week. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly. There we go.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. The person you are calling is on.
No, apologies again, still not coming through. But what I'd like to ask you about, because obviously up and coming events, when the lockdown is lifted finally, please, thank God, regard, Marcus and Saleem, is you guys are planning on doing some live events. How if people wanted to contact you to book an event, do they get in touch?
Okay, so Phil, quite simply, it's if you jump onto our website, which is the BritishMobilityProject.com. You can either call us directly. We're open 24 hours a day. You can also drop us a line, send us an email. We will come back to you, obviously, with obviously information regarding particular events, etc., that we have planned. There's going to be several types of evenings that we do. We're going to be doing obviously stand-up, where Marcus will actually choose people out of the audience. We'll also have the paranormal evenings, which means we will go to haunted locations, and people can actually obviously join us there and actually see exactly what Marcus does in that sense, which is going to be quite interesting. I mean, I'm interested to see that, because I haven't actually, been with Marcus on a haunted evening. But if Marcus could just sort of help me out here, really, and sort of just elaborate a little bit on, what that would entail.
Yeah, we've got various locations and haunted, haunted places booked up. So when we go to that venue, we're expecting a great deal of activity with the energy that's in them places, and with myself there, and we are looking for people to come along, and between us both, between us all, we can create things to happen in them places. So interesting indeed. And also the mediumship side of things, the evening of mediumship. Obviously, I'm going to be choosing people out of the audiences. I've done this for over 20 years, so we can bring the loved ones closer to the people in the audience. So we're going to be doing lots of things. Exciting times to come, isn't it, guys?
Absolutely. I can't
Definitely.
wait. Can't wait.
And of course, the whole reason for this is obviously to make people aware of the mobility project, and to get people to take part in this wonderful time in history, because the mobility is so important that people have mobility. This is what we're doing it for, to raise the awareness that mobility is there for people in need. Sometimes we do have family members that need mobility. Sometimes we do have maybe someone that we know that needs mobility, and this is what we're doing this for. So
such a great cause. I'd just like to mention
it is a great cause. That's right. Yes, that's right, Phil.
I'd just like to mention Josh Nice. Okay, I'm just mentioning you. I've got to say a big hello to you guys out there. Sorry, Josh, lovely to be with you tonight, and thank you for tuning in. Okay, if anybody else has got any more text messages or questions that they'd like to ask Marcus, please feel free to get them into us on the number 07946 624 307. But you can also contact us via Messenger, and we'd just like to answer your questions from there if possible.
Marcus, we've got a message coming through from Lee May Lim. Any message coming through for me, she is saying on the text.
Okay, let's have a look at this, Lee.
Lee May Lim.
Right, let's have a
Sorry,
look.
I didn't see that one. Sorry about that.
It's okay, right, let's have a look. Interesting. The first thing I'm being shown here from your grandfather is very fast pace of life. Everything recently has been very, he's saying to me, everything recently has been very relaxed. There's not much going on. Everything's been quite sort of quite sort of quiet. Emotionally, you're a little bit upset with that quietness. Nothing's really happening. Things are about to take off. Things are about to change. And I'm excited for you because things are about to change. I'm seeing a lot of travelling here, a lot of travelling around doing different things. So what I would say over the next 3 months, it's very important that whatever ideas that you've got to put them into progress and really go ahead and do them, because it's a very fortunate time for progress. And that's how I feel the next 3 and 4 months are going to go through, progress. It's going to be lots of progress. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Marcus, we have another one too, actually just came in. Melissa Ray says, hello, I'm Corey from Pennsylvania in the USA.
Oh.
It says, I'm on my mother's Facebook, but just wanted to see if you had any information for me. New to this page, just found it moments ago. Thank you.
God bless you. And this is Melissa. Okay, Melissa.
It says I'm Corey. So Corey is the name.
Corey. Right. Okay, Corey. Thank you. Okay, right. Right, interesting again. When it comes to your emotional side of things, I've got a grandmother here that's connecting with me on your side. I've got the name of Anne as well with this, but she's making me aware of your emotional side. She's making me aware of the fact that you don't feel as if, without going in too much detail, you don't feel connected with a certain person at the moment. Obviously, we're on air, so I won't go into much detail, but either you're going to walk away from this person very shortly, or you have walked away, but either way, something's not right. And I feel decisions and choices have got to be made very shortly, because I don't feel you can carry on with this person or with this emotional connection that you have. In the physical world, I've seen hands in the spiritual world. In the physical world, this is what's going on. And I just feel very shortly, you're going to look at this person and actually make a conscious decision. And obviously, if you want me to go into that in more detail, so you have, we can do that. But for now, I'll leave that with you and see how that goes over the next sort of couple of weeks, week or so. Yeah, very important. Thank you. Thank you for coming through. Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcus. We also had another message come through from a lovely lady called Nicola Artie. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Phil. She's asking any message from me, Marcus. Okay. And that's Nicola.
Thank you. Okay, Nicola, let's have a look. Right, let's see what's going on. Lovely person you are. You do keep yourself to yourself. You do. And there's a gentleman of the name of Billy or Bill around you, and in the spirit world, and he's very much making me aware of you being on your own. You keep yourself to yourself. I feel particularly recently you've done that more than ever. And as you do that, yes, it's not very comfortable for you, in lots of ways. But at the same time, you're gathering your thoughts. This time had to be, as I said earlier, this world on Earth is school, and you've had to go through these life lessons to know who you are, where you are, where you've come from, and what's to be done. And I feel over the next 2 months you're going to really focus on where you want to go and what needs to be done, and I feel you will get there. You will have relationships again, you will have friends again, you will have people in your life again, and this feeling a little bit lost at the moment in your life is very temporary, I want to say. So as we go into the end of June time, I feel that's when things start to take off in your social side of things, which is quite important to you. Also want to say there's a connection with animals as well that you've got, which is absolutely lovely, and thank you for coming through. I'll leave your love with whoever's come through to me. God bless you.
Thank you, Marcus.
Absolutely, thank you, Marcus. Such a star. Such a star. There we go.
Star.
You are such a star that you are. And right, okay.
And unfortunately, I've had to go through my own life lessons. So it's not easy, but
It takes
yeah,
time.
you know, I love what I do, and if I, you know, on this show or any time in my life, you know, if I can help people, that's all I want to do is help people as much as I can, and to bring the two worlds together, bring the comfort. You know, it doesn't matter if, you know, if we get bad comments or evil comments. It doesn't matter, because I know I've got reassurance, and we know as a team that we are here, that we're helping people in the best way that we can. So you have to take all the negative energy away, just bring all positive energy in, and do the very best. I always say, if you do your best at what you get, you know, if you do your best at what you're good at, that's all you can do, isn't it?
Absolutely, Marcus. I mean,
Sure.
this has been once again, another fascinating and, for me, mind-blowing and also a completely emotional roller coaster of a show tonight. Absolutely fantastic read with Sam there. And
it's lovely because, you know, it's no egos or anything.
No.
You know, it's just for the mobility
project.
You know, project, and that's it's just for the mobility, which is lovely.
Oh my goodness, and it's just great. Okay, so let me just see, because I want to get a couple more questions in here. You know, when you have had an experience with somebody, do you feel Marcus, this is for obviously, do you feel a closer bond with that person, i.e. a reading, a prediction, when you've had a reading in person with another person, you know, when you've given a reading to another person, if that makes sense? Hopefully it does. Do you feel a bond? Do you feel bonded with that person afterwards?
I do. You know, yes, I do. That I feel very bonded with the physical world, but also bonded with the spiritual world as I merge them two together. So it's all about energies, feelings, emotions, different signs coming through at different times, and it's just lovely, because it's a great bond between both worlds. Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm a firm believer, Phil, if you do good things like we're doing good things for the mobility project, I've done things for the organisations as well over the years, and worked on different platforms and done different things. If you give, there's something in this work where you're giving back to the spirit world. I've received a lot from them over the years, so I'm giving back to them now, and you know, it's a lovely feeling to be able to give back to them in any way that you can.
Fantastic, that's great. Can I ask you a few things about your career, please, if that's okay? So, during your career, you worked with loads, and I know you worked with loads and loads of different people, but you particularly worked with Derek Akora. Can I ask how he was different or similar to how you are as a psychic medium?
Well, God bless him. He was a lovely gentleman, and you know, he really connected in a phenomenal way. I remember the days of Most Haunted. You know, phenomenal way he connected, and you know, just a gentleman. And again, you know, he done this purely for, you know, his heart. He done it from his heart, and he done it from a good heart. He done it from, you know, a good mind, and he done it in a very pure way. And for any psychic medium that's listening to this, you know, if you can do it in that good way, like he done, like I do. I mean, there's other people I've worked with as well. I've worked with many psychics on Psychic Today as well. I was on Psychic Today for many, many years. Phenomenal psychics and mediums come on there, as well as the ones that are quite famous. And, you know, they all work with great intentions, and that's the problem, I think, with the phone lines of today, or or shall we say, to today's modern way of doing it.
Yeah.
There's not many of us oldies left, unfortunately. It's all modernised, and it just seems to me as if it's quick, dashy, and that's not the way Spirit works. Spirit work in a very, they emerge with us. They work in a very, very interesting way. It has to be right, and I think a lot of people do go to psychic phone companies, and they do expect a lot of things, and they don't always get them things because it's very quick, very quickly, rushed, very, how can I put this, convey about, and that's not how I work, and that's not how Derek worked. Colin Fry, other, very, very established psychic mediums over the years, they don't work like that, and the reason why is because we want to connect with the spirit world, a lot of spiritual church people do connect with the spirit world, and that's a good way to connect. If you connect with your heart and you're genuine, and you do genuine things like the famous lovely Derek Hoare done when he was alive, God bless him, you connect in the right way. I mean, Barry John's another one that I've worked with. He's a lovely man, again, the most haunted, worked alongside Barry John, worked alongside these things with the haunting stuff, and again, he's another gentleman that really does connect well, but at the same time, he's doing it from his heart,
and that's the
only way to do it.
Yeah, that's the only way, and I believe
it's the professional way.
I believe that's the only way you can do anything in life, really.
It is.
You've got a bit of passion, a bit of soul about something, as long as you're doing it for the right
intentions. That's right, Phil.
Absolutely.
That's right. God bless you. That's right.
Is what I was going to say. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, it's been a night, hasn't it? It's been a night, and it's been a great night. I've been really, really impressed.
Thank you.
Guys,
it's been fantastic.
Tonight. Honestly, really have.
Thank you, Phil.
It's funny just to think that this is just one part of life. It's funny to think this is just one part of life, and there are so much more that people probably will ever know. Do you know what I mean?
Can I just interject really quickly, Phil?
Yeah.
We've got Charlotte Broxley asking if she could call. Could I call, please? Is what she's asking on the messages. So
you can indeed, but it is up to Marcus at this second time.
I would feel comfortable to reject that for now because my energy levels just slightly get, sort of, dipping a little bit.
Yeah.
But certainly, I mean, the next couple of weeks we can do that. Or next week or whatever. Yeah, definitely.
Please come back, and if you could write that to her, and I'll also send her a text message if you want as well after the show, and just connect that way so we can ask her to come back just like we did with Melissa earlier on. But I mean, at this moment in time, I just love speaking to you guys, as you both know, Saleem and Marcus, and it's lovely to be with both of you tonight, and so honoured to have you guys on the show, and I can't wait for future weeks because the audience is building, the interest is certainly there, and it's been a lovely lot of comments as well from people tonight, which has been absolutely lovely, and hopefully next week we'll have Paul back. Paul will come back and give us a validation of a couple of weeks ago. Do apologise, I'm not sure why he couldn't answer tonight. But yeah, we if you don't mind, guys, could I cut that short for tonight? Could I cut that there tonight? Is that all right?
No problem at all.
Oh, thank you. It's been a lovely evening, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you to everybody who messaged in once again. And we hope to see you all next week, safe and sound. Stay well. Good night and God bless. 8 p.m. Next Wednesday night, if everybody's agreeable and happy. And we'll be back on This Is Reading 24/7. Don't forget, of course, you can get involved with the BritishMobilityProject.com by going to their website, and they have got all sorts of different parts of the site that you're going to want to look at. And of course, don't forget, we've got the psychic events, paranormal events, all sorts of stuff there. Don't forget to check out the artists as well, like Jack Mason, the DJs, and everything else. Everybody's on there. for the BritishMobilityProject.com. But for now, we're going to say thank you and good night. Have a great night, guys, and we'll speak to you all soon. Thank you and good night.